Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey guys, welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and I'm here today with Chris Prefontaine. And besides his experience in business and real estate, we're going to talk a little bit about the current market situation and how you can get up to 3 paydays. Guys, remember, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs, 2 to 5x their business. We provide tools and resources to grow that business you've always wanted to have, and that'll help you live the life you've always dreamed of. So Chris, man, welcome to our show.
Thanks, buddy. Good to be here.
Good, man. I'm excited to talk about 3 paydays. Everybody loves more paydays, right? We always want to get paid. And then also, too, we know what's a lot of things going on in the market, and that's a hot conversation. But before we get into that, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about you, your background in real estate, and how you got here?
Yeah, I'll condense 34 years in like 2 or 3 minutes because I can do that. I'm from New England. We go quick.
Well, we have plenty of time, so take your time.
Yeah, so I started in the early 90s actually, and I've touched a lot of the different niches, the segments in the market. Owned a realty executives franchise as a broker owner, built a bunch of homes, did condominium conversions, so touched a lot. But leading up to the 2008 crash, I just got my brains beat out financially, mentally. I had about 23 properties or so, different asset classes going into that. And when the market tanked, in some areas I had projects going that tanked 2/3, like 2/3 was condominium development. I was selling units for 172 and I couldn't give them away for 50. That was crazy.
Jeez.
So needless to say, I was on all those loans personally. So we'll talk about what we don't do now, but I was on all of those. So that was a nightmare. It took from February of 08, almost like a light switch turn in February of 08. I remember too well. So February of 12 for me to get out of my own way and go, all right, I think I can get back to work now. So that led me to where we are today, because it really was the impetus, because I said, all right, shoot, if I'm going to get back in the market, I got to redefine what the heck I'm doing here, because I can't sign personally on loans. I'm not even bankable now. I was tanked. Credit in the toilet, no cash, moved to a 1-bedroom apartment, like you name it. Creditors, the whole bit. I had it all in 4 years. So I did. I redefined it and re-engineered it and said, okay, no more banks, no more signing personally, no borrowing money, no using gobs of my own money. I didn't have any. And we kind of defined how we would buy. When I say we, it's a family company now, but it started as me.
Okay.
So those ways we defined, John, were owner financing, lease purchase, and subject to existing financing.
Got it.
To this day, that's the only way we buy. I'll never, ever be on a loan. I can sleep better at night with that, than needless to say. And then that caught fire in that, in addition to me doing my own deals, and then my son and my son-in-law and my daughter coming in, we started getting demand to show other people how to do it, like literally organically. People calling, and then it grew to a business. And now Smart Real Estate Coach has morphed into, I think we're in 80 markets doing deals now.
Love it.
We've hit Inc. 5000 3 years in a row as fastest growing companies. But the first year in business, I was broke, and then we did 14 grand total volume. It was like a slow start.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a summary. We can go back to any piece of that if you want to unpack it.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, I always unpack stuff, and I like to unpack the first thing and ask, like how long have you been in real estate, any type of real estate?
This will be 34 years this September of 25.
Was there a influence, a person in your life, someone in real estate that did real estate that kind of planted a seed for you, or how did you get the bug to go into real estate?
Yeah, good question. I grew up in a family business, not real estate related, but my dad was entrepreneurial, and he had a welding supply and industrial gas business. So you go, how did that inspire you? What he did was he had brick and mortar buildings. And I remember, I don't know how old I was, say 10 or 12 years old, and he was trying to explain to me how he builds these buildings himself, and then he leases them back to his company. And I'm like, as a kid going, what do you mean? You're like the same person. How does that work?
Right.
So I was exposed to what he was doing, and then he would tinker with real estate on the side. He'd find raw land and permit it and flip it. He'd buy an occasional property and keep it or flip it. So I was exposed to it, loved it. I mean, way before politics was an issue, I read Trump's first book. That was in the 80s when I first got married. So I was really intrigued by it. I went to college, but I was always doing deals and learning and working. So that was the start of it. I'd say 100% my father.
How did you continue your learning education? Did you seek out a mentor? Did you join any type of masterminds? Did you do any coaching programs? I mean, how did you grow your knowledge path?
Yeah, way before Google and YouTube and everything else, right? Way back then. I always had a mentor. So college on, I had mentors. Now the mentors would be from our education laboratory in my car back then with cassettes, right? I'm dating myself. Nonstop, to then calling some of my father's business owner contacts, entrepreneurs, and going, hey, can I have coffee and just pick your brain? And I'd go over my journal and I'd ask them things like, what would you do again if you had to relive what you're doing? All big business owners. And then I started hiring mentors after college. So it could have been anything from health to real estate, a lot, personal efficiency, things like that. Always.
Sure.
Now, here's the interesting about your question. Twice in my whole career, mid-90s, in the 2008 crash, I look back recently and I'm like, man, this is scary. I didn't have mentors during the two biggest hiccups of my life. And that was a scary thought. I'm like, well, that was stupid. So for 4 years, instead of being in my head, I could have just called you, for example, if you're my mentor, and go,
right,
hey, how do I get out? Like, what would you do? I didn't have it. It's crazy. Wow. Now I just never will be without it.
What's the benefit? I mean, why is it so important for you now to make sure that you are surrounded by folks like that can lead you and guide you to where you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel these days, right? And so if I can just tap into someone that's already doing it, why on earth would I not do that and shrink my learning curve? I had a guy in my show. His last name's going to slip me. I'll come back to his name, but he's a personal efficiency trainer for high net worth NBA players. Like, these are the guys come out of college and $3 million contracts. And David's his first name. I'll think of his last name. But he was on my show. He said, Chris, all I do is when I take these high paid athletes, he said I literally research the internet. I find someone that has the skill set that I'm trying to do with this particular player or mindset, and then we model after it. And I'm thinking, okay, it's not brain science, right? They just find a person. Crazy not to do that.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. So as you learned, as you grew, as you started building businesses, you mentioned multiple asset classes. Like, what are some of the struggles that you had in the beginning of just trying to put it all together?
I remember this coming out of the crash. This was my biggest frustration, and I know listeners have this, and that is, okay, I'm looking at all the marketing going on now. It's crazy now. It's even worse than after the crash, right? It just bombards you and I and everyone else with get rich quick, and this is easy, and this is warm and fuzzy. So when I was looking to get back in the trenches, I had to be careful, and I'm like, I'm not seeing anything
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
That says after I buy that course or that program that they're going to be with me. Nothing. And I was like, I felt naked because I literally wasn't bankable. I was like, what am I going to do? So then that's what drove me. My wife said, why don't you teach people then what you're doing? That's what drove this whole thing. So that's why to this day, we do deals. When I said we're in 80 markets, that's not us as a family. That's the Smart Real Estate Coach family. And students and members, and we do deals with them in revenue share. So they're never alone. So we're with them to the nth degree of that deal. That was my biggest frustration, so I created that.
That's awesome. You found a problem. You created the solution.
Yeah, and it's. I think you'd agree. I'd like your opinion on this, but we are like, there's some good marketers, right? Well, I'm not a great marketer. I not do deals. So
sure,
you should be careful when you get marketed to what you bite on. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, that is true. Vet your marketing 100%. So you built all this, you brought family in. Was there any hesitation about working with family? That's when I find out people work with family, I always like to ask that. Like, some are all for it. Some are just like, no, thank you.
Yeah, everyone asks this. Okay, I'll answer and I'll tell you how it works, and as far as my opinion. So it was organically. People go, oh, that's really cool. Like, how did you design? I didn't design it. I was busy in the fall of 14, and my son Nick was a realtor, and I said, can you help me with the disposition side? So he started part-time. Then my son-in-law and daughter were in the bartending and personal training. We live in a resort area. They're like, in 15 of December, they said, yeah, it's good money, but our lifestyle stinks. So can we come in? And I said, yeah, no free lunch. Like, you're gonna make money when we do deals, and if not, that's it. So it started evolving. Nick fell into my son into the buyer side of it to this day, helping with that end.
Okay.
Zach fell into the seller side and scaling the business. It just happened organically. So, and then how do we maintain it? We have values as a company and a mission, and as a decision comes up, it's no longer about family.
Yeah.
And, hey, John, does this fit the values? That's how we accept. That's how we hire, fire, make decisions. So it's not personality or family. And then last, we keep it totally separate. Like at one time when I was in that one-bedroom apartment and we started all this, getting back on my feet, all three of us lived within a block of each other, and we'd see each other after the office, which was 2 blocks in the other direction. We'd say like we never saw each other. Got to keep it separate.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, I've done work with my wife, and yeah, I mean that is really the key is being able to keep that separation somehow. So what does your team look like now? I mean, what do you guys do? I mean, are you still doing? Are you still buying houses? I mean, what's your business look like?
Yeah, I have an appointment tomorrow. So we're in the trenches, and I think it's important. By the way, it's the other thing about coaching. Someone flips a house 10 years ago, now they're coaching, which kills me. So we're in the trenches every day still. We still look for the same type of property, so we're not using banks. And then as we get tweaks to the contracts and lessons learned, because they're always different, we put it out to the community. So my team and the family is just my son, Nick, my son-in-law, Zach, and Sue, who's been with us 10 years. It's all it takes to run that. We've been as high as 70 properties, and that little team can run that. And we have VAs, right?
Okay, I was going to ask, do you have any virtual assistants that help you on some of the mundane stuff?
We have VAs that run our CRM. So we probably have 3 right now. And then the Wicked Smart community side of things, Smart Real Estate Coach, we've got about, I think we're at 12 or so, not counting some contractors that are all over the country since COVID. That's the beauty of COVID. We now can get talent from everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. That changed a bit, and that team is about 12 people or so that run that.
Okay. And let's talk about your coaching program. So what specifically, I mean, are you coaching everything from A to Z? Do you have a focus on single family, multifamily? What does that coaching program look like for some of our listeners?
Yeah. So in addition to the component that we do deals, right? We don't just sell you something and go good luck. So right. That's very important. Now, the type we do. The ways we buy that I said at the beginning, those 3 ways, you can buy any asset class that way, right? So, I mean, owner financing pre-existed banking, and so did master lease purchases, right? That before banking, 1600s, I think. So we do any asset class. However, because in the real estate business, as you know, there's so many shiny objects, right? People can get distracted. So
Yep.
I start with single family because in the sweet spots in the markets, why? Because I know they can get it done and they can move them in the way we do it.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Now, will they run across multis? Yep. Will they run across mixed use and commercial? Yep. Do some of our students specifically target that? Yeah, I have one woman in the higher level that I coach personally who just goes after mobile home parks, owner financing, free and clear, no mortgage. So you can do it with any asset class, but we start with single families unless you have a specific goal, and I'll help you with it.
Right. That's awesome. Okay. Where do you see, we talked a little bit at the beginning, kind of what our topic was, we're going to talk about the market, right now. Where do you see the market going? Like what trends are you seeing coming down the pipe, or is there any relief or those type of things?
I always do a disclosure here because like the billionaires don't know, but everybody wants to tell you what the market, right? So number one. Number two, there is no market, in my opinion. Like people go, the market on TV, there's all pockets of markets.
Right.
Right now in Florida, I've got one of our higher level students like just cherry picking properties. He can get as many as he wants if he's careful because they're going in the wrong direction. Other markets are still smoking hot. What do I think's gonna happen? I don't know, but here's what I know. When you get like comfortable and confident with creative finance like we do, kind of like and welcome the change because the sellers get panicked by the media, buyers do too. The buyers get affected by the interest rate. So all those things spell opportunity for us to help them.
Yeah.
We're helping enough people. It's a win-win with what we do. Some people, if you're a wholesaler or a rehabber, and I have good friends, so this isn't a dig with them, but they are trying to get the properties cheap, right? They have to, 67%. We are typically not having to do that. So it's a super win-win as long as we get the terms we want on these deals. So I don't know what the market's going to do. I just know that whenever there's uncertainty, in change, which is constant in real estate, you're in a great spot once you understand and can learn the skill set of creative. It's by far in my 34 years, I haven't seen this type of sort of demand or perfect storm, if you will, for creative real estate. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've done only 2 creative deals in my time. How did you learn how to do the sub twos? And when you say lease purchase, are you talking about like lease options?
Yeah. We tie them up and then we exit most, if not all, for the sake of staying simple here, with rent to own. In our rent-to-own program, I will say, and I'm biased, but I would say across the country, there's no one that got it fine-tuned like us because we want to cash them out. We want to get them to the finish line and let them win.
Yeah.
Most educators are like, yeah, who cares if they cash out? But that's morally and ethically blah, So we want to cash them all out. What was the other part of your question? Sorry, John.
I don't recall.
Okay, so we're both good.
We're both okay. So what's your next goal? Like, where do you guys? I mean, you're obviously building your coaching business, which is fantastic. Yeah. What's your next goal for the business?
It's interesting because you and I are talking about an hour after we just got off our weekly coaches call, and on that call, goal wise, all we do is obsess over, all right, how can we improve some of the key metrics, which are very important for the listener to know this. Time to first deal, time to first sold. This is so important because if you do a deal quickly, I don't care what community you're in, you're not quitting, right?
Right.
So we obsess over that. So our goal is what? Every trimester, we reset those and try to improve not just the volume of deals in the community, but the time to first deal, trying to shrink that and tighten that up. Again, then the community expands and grows. It's pretty cool. That's what we want to do. I don't care about, I said we're in 80 markets, but I don't track how many markets. That's organic. I want to deal with whoever's in.
Right. And what kind of group is this? Coaching group is this? Or what, like where you get on this call?
We have different levels, so I'll be broad here. So we have everything from, we call it apprentice, where they can come in, kind of get a peek behind the curtain, very inexpensive, and being a 12-week group coaching program.
Okay.
That doesn't give them a coach to make calls on the spot anytime they need it, but they have 5 touches a week if they want it. Not schedules don't always allow it. And on those touches, the coaches will make live calls to their leads and things like that and train them.
Mm.
Then we have more one-on-one. We call it associate program. There's different levels of that, and that's the
Yep.
revenue share model.
Got
Depending
it.
on what program they're in, the revenue share changes. But we have 5 coaches, and I'm still coaching in the trenches. I love it. And that what that means is they're gonna get on the phone and do calls with you. You know, they're gonna call your seller with you until you're comfortable doing that, and that's invaluable too. It's just
That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think one of the hardest things is just for people is getting used to being able to really talk to people on that empathetic curiosity, interested level.
Yeah.
And if you have someone that you can model after, that's great. So other thing we mentioned when we first started this was about the 3 paydays, right? Let's talk about that because I know people are probably itching to know, hey, what about those 3 paydays?
Yeah. Everybody said I was frustrated coming out of the crash. I said one was no coach. The other one was, all right, I've been at this for, I think at that time, say it was 17 or 18 years, whatever it was. And I'm like, okay, this is great. But every January, I sort of bum out because I go, I got to recreate, right? It's transactional. I got to go do that many days.
Right.
I got to go do that many houses. So I said, all right, what can we do? So organically, again, it wasn't like I pre-thought this. We fell into the model of the 3 paydays and then trademarked it in U.S. And that is, I exit the property with a buyer who needs time. So you're a corporate America, you're making $200,000-$300,000 a year. You leave, you start your own business, and you think you're bankable. You're not. You can't even get a mortgage right now.
Mm-mm.
You got to get
Right.
seasoned, and that's harder. I just was with a banking guy last night on a podcast, and he said, "Oh, it's getting worse, Chris." He's in the kind of the note business. So payday one is what? Payday one is that buyer who went, "Oh man, I'm not financeable." They come in and they go into our rent-to-own house. They know they can get a loan in a couple of years, and they put a nice down payment down. It's non-refundable. That's our payday one.
Right.
That's 25 to 50 grand. So now you just launched a house and you get that right in your pocket day one. Payday two, we're paying something on the underlying house debt or to the seller if we're making seller financing. And then we're charging that buyer while they're in the home getting financing set up. We're charging them something higher. That delta is ours to keep. Call it $300 to $1,000 a month per property per month. And then payday three is really cool. Payday three is any markup, of course, but also 2, 3, 4, 5 years out. All of the principal pay down that accrued during that deal, because the underlying debt's going down, right? So all 3 paydays for us across the country, low of $45,000 per deal, high of $350. That was set new record last February.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you don't need to go out, most people, to hit their goals and do like 30 properties. You do 5 or 6 of these and it's changing your world. Most people.
For sure. Yeah, I always thought, 'cause when you said 3 paydays, I always back in the day used to know something like a sandwich lease option, right?
Yeah,
Where you
that's
get paid up front, you're making monthly, and then you're selling the property for more than what you're paying the seller. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, very cool. I love that. I always thought that's a fantastic way to make money. If someone was wanting to get into the business, start doing this outside of calling you and coming to your coaching, what advice would you give them?
Couple things. Of course, I'm biased to our program, right? But I'm also not naive. Like, there's a lot of good trainers out there. So here's what I say, and then I'll be specific with us. Anyone, I don't care what business, but let's say real estate. Number one, pick a niche. There's a bunch of great ones, right? Pick a niche that you go, you know what, I can get behind that. I like the win-win, or I like the being behind the computer, whatever it is for you. 2, find someone or a community or a local person that you go, all right, A, this person has done what I want to do. B, morally and ethically, I like what they do. Because some people can have success and they wreck every relationship, right? So I'm saying look at the whole picture. And third, C, in that mix, someone that's been through, in my opinion, at least, let's say 1 or 2 economic cycles, because you are going to hit one. And you want to go, hey, what do you do, John? So that's number 2. Number 3 is the hard part. Number 3 is after you find that, put the blinders on for at least 3 years. At least 3 years. I don't know if you remember Brian Tracy. I'm dating myself again.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so Brian was on my show during COVID, so he was like 82 then. And I gave him my 3-year philosophy, and he said, no, like he's the only one that ever shot it down. I said, what do you mean no? He said, 7 years. He said, I've been broke, Chris. I've been wealthy. In the first 2 or 3 years, I don't care what you do, you're going to suck, and then you're going to be adequate. And then the last 2 or 3, you'll go, oh, I get this, and you'll make all your money. So I thought that was interesting, but at least 3 years. And then with us, I like free, John. So like I'll give you a link in a second for a free book for everyone, because I'd rather have someone say, All right, great. I looked at 500 deals on YouTube. You can go on YouTube, type in Smart Real Estate Coach. You'll get deal structures, we call them. Every Sunday we put them out since, I don't know, 2017. You can watch deal after deal after deal. We expose them. Then you can go read the book if you want. It's free. We don't have to go to Amazon. Then if you say, okay, now I'm excited. Now look at what we have. But don't spend 10 cents until you do that. The free books, they can just go to wickedsmartbooks.com/your name, John Harcar.
Okay, so // my name, and then it creates up a order type of ad thing or order page.
No shipping, none of those, free offer, but you got to pay shipping. It's free. We'll come
awesome.
to the office and we'll throw some goodies in there for you.
Yeah. Besides the book, how else do they get in touch with you?
There's two ways they can do it. I mean, the website smartrealestatecoach.com they'll find me, but they can if they don't mind listening to my New England accent for another half hour, 50 minutes. There's a free workshop I did. It's a replay. You do it at your own time. So nobody's bugging you. Go to smartrealestatecoach.com/masters class.
Masters class. Awesome. Well, Chris, I appreciate you coming on and sharing all this, man. I love the coaching program and I love everything you're doing. Guys, I hope you out there took some good notes, and if you want to get into it, you want to learn from someone who seems to me like he's got all that that you would need to get going, reach out to Chris. Appreciate it. Yeah, guys, I had a great show. Hope you guys did too. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.